The Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, has lambasted Kelechi MADU for his comments after the arrest of NNAMDI KANU. MADU, the Minister of Justice and Solicitor General of the Government of Alberta, Canada, attacked Malami over the repatriation of the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB leader. He called Malami a disgrace to the rule of law and not worthy to be an officer of the court. He has shown himself to be a bigot who does not understand what it means to live in a pluralistic society governed by the dictates of the rule of law, MADU's statement said. In a rejoinder on Wednesday, Malami called the Canadian state official ignoramus and eccentric, adding that his views are weird to the legal profession. The AGF said it is unfortunate that MADU faulted the internationally recognized manner through which NNAMDI KANU, who jumped bail, was rearrested and brought back to face trial. It was abundantly clear that bench warrants it was clear that bench warrants was lawfully and judiciously procured through judicial process by a competent court of law whose bail condition NNAMDI KANU breached with impunity. There was no illegality in the entire process, and the question of illegality does not even arise. It is a common principle of the law that he who comes to equity must come with clean hands. Malami said KANU has enjoyed representation by counsel of his choice and was never denied a right of choice of counsel or recourse to one, even when it symbolizes a proscribed association, IPOB. Where was the so-called MADU when NNAMDI KANU was inciting violence against the country? Why, as a lawyer, would MADU support a fugitive who jumped bail and accused of terrorism and treasonable felony? What stopped MADU from voicing out dissent on the atrocities of KANU and their groups? It is important to educate the likes of Kelechi MADU that both Nigeria, his country of birth, and Canada, where he claims to be practicing law, are signatories to the multinational treaty agreement where, among others, fugitives fleeing justice in nations with similar agreements could be brought back to face justice. It is a pity that as a Solicitor General of a province, MADU failed to keep himself acquainted with the provisions of general laws of the country where he stays, as well as international laws. We wish to draw the attention of MADU to the provision of Consolidated Acts Criminal Code under the Canadian law RSC 1985, CC 46 of 1-2 on treason and other offences. Everyone commits high treason who in Canada kills or attempts to kill Her Majesty or does any bodily harm tending to death or destruction, maims or wounds her, or imprisons or restrains her. B. Levels war against Canada or does any acts thereto. And C. Assists an enemy at war with Canada or any armed forces against whom Canadian forces are engaged in hostilities, whether or not a state of war exists between Canada and the country whose forces they are. Well, Malami has been able to say he's more competent than MADU. That MADU doesn't know what he's talking about. Malami further derided MADU, saying empty vessel makes loudest noise. We advise the so-called learned man to share his arrogance and learn to study the law books before opening his mouth to disgrace himself before the right-thinking members of the society, whereby attracting to himself criticism that may propel doubts about his sustainability for the job he claims to be doing now, after moving out of his country of origin in which he fails to excel. The reply concluded, "Ho, see Malami, see Malami." Well, it is sad that the way we reason, we are so tribalistic and full of sentiments that we forgot our sense of reasoning. Most times, what Malami is saying is correct. When KANU was directing his IPOB to kill security personnel, Nobody came out to say anything. Kanu did not act right. Let's keep sentiments and judge things fairly so we move forward in our country. The hate is too much. We have to love our country for progress and prosperity. Isn't it treasonable to order security officials to kill unarmed youth and protesters? If security officials who should guard the lives of innocent citizens, what do you expect from the latter? Well, AGF cow, oh my god. AGF spoke as an erudite legal luminary without being biased. He tutored the so-called MADU. Kudos to Malami on this. Tutor who? Does it make sense when you are written prepared speech and you conducted a kangaroo repatriation without due process and you say tutor, what does he has to give in regards to that? MADU is not learned as he claims to be, even in Canada's laws. Talk less of international laws. Learn to spell well. You cannot even spell MADU. Talk less of being learned. This is unreasonable. Imagine Malami or Anaboki excelling. Can Malami pass JAMB without federal character, states of origin, quota system? It is impossible for any Aboki to qualify for anything academic out of competition. Even God will not forgive Kanu. Okay. I certainly believe the gullible, heartless, and godless barbarian who lack the ability to feel, think, and behave clearly will start throwing insults. I mean those you were made a laughing stock, where NNAMDI Kanu is using them in catching his own cruise. Saying that NNAMDI Kanu jumped bay do annoy me because NNAMDI Kanu was in his father's house when the Nigerian army came to kill him. So they expected the young man to stand like a tree and wait for them to come and cut it down. God forbid. Thank God that the God we serve is a righteous judge. Even if you people judge him in your own way, one thing is sure, God is watching. Everybody is talking about when NNAMDI Kanu directed IPOB members to the killings of security personnel, and they have forgotten what led to that. Let God, there is God though. When I say defending your people against murderous Fulani killer and terrorists become treasonable, that can happen in Nigeria. That can happen in Nigeria. It can really happen in Nigeria. Does the law require to go and kidnap somebody from other country without due process? Nigeria lawyer. The president and all of you are a disgrace to this land. Is there any law working in so-called Nigeria? Why use military against civilians? So guys, let's hear your opinion and have your take on this matter.